Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to round number 8 of the Nemesis Online Racing FIA GT3 World Series. And you can see again, now we're at a very, very foggy racetrack. Now, I believe it is the Red Bull Ring, but I won't be able to tell you because it is so foggy. It's going to be very much a case of Hockenheim once again. Now, sorry for the pronunciation there, I haven't been informed, but it does look like we got some new faces on the grid of PO18GG, Lambo 1021. And I think the rest are the usual suspects, which they are. So that's good to see. But 15 cars on the track now, of course. And of course, after last week, actually quite interesting to see that Ketchi and Mark are once again on a level pegging. So brilliant stuff. To see them two so close. They're actually tied on points for the first time since round 1. So great effort by those guys. Hello, Callum. Welcome along, buddy. Happy birthday, by the way, from everyone here at NORL and Gaming Now. Glad you're here watching with us. It's the first time I've commentated since starting my new job, and honestly, I could fall asleep. But hopefully the racing doesn't let us fall asleep, because a bad race today would send me off. So it looks like it's majority isn't even a word, is it? Mainly going to be an onboard camera race, because if I show you here and we go to trackside, you will see this Audi just disappear into the fog, and it's gone. As simple as that. So I really don't know who's on fast laps at the moment. We'll wait for lap times to come in, but like we say, we had PO1 and Lambo, who look like new guys. Kedchi, though, the man who did so well in this kind of weather in Hockenheim, is the first man to set a lap time and the first man to get beaten by Murcielago by just under a tenth of a second for that provisional pole. Chaza, 5.6 seconds off the pace in third. We also have VSR Blizzard returning for the first time in a few races. Beamer Black moves up into third. Cone Joker will now round up fifth, 10 seconds off the pace. Yikes, that's a big drop. Sevens now crosses the line to go 1.5 off the pole time, but will line up at P5 on the grid. So far so good. We've got VSR Blizzard looking like he's coming to the end of his sector. Mark will be one to watch out for, though, because Mark is the man who is level on points with Ketchi, and that was a very slow entry to that corner, so it's either a bad end to the lap or he's starting a lap. Crosses the line, goes P8, so it was a very bad first lap from Mark. Not as bad as Arnold Tanovich, though, who goes P9, 21 seconds off the pace of Murcielago. VSR Blizzard will go P8. And Galactical 2 and Nemesis Racing both yet to set a time. Nemesis Racing's first return to Project Cars 2 since back injury has taken a race win this season, so we know he has it. Murcielago almost come into a complete stop on the circuit. Not that we will be able to see in anything other than the roof cam. Kedji also looking very slow to start himself up for a good lap. Meanwhile, Kevin Jacobs up in P3. Good effort so far from Kevin. However, he's gone for a little spin in that NSX early on in the session. No biggie. Oh, I can hear someone behind him. It was an Audi. I was going to say, hopefully he doesn't get collected as a result of that spin. So far so good. So round number 8. Let's take a look at the championship besides the top 2, because I'm sure you're interested to see where everybody else is. So if we bring up the championship standing, it is Ketchi and Mark on the same points, both on 112 points, those two. Ketchi leading on their best results so far, though. Surely the season won't end on that. It will be decided on points as Mark goes very wide in the final 2 corners. Looking a little bit under pressure this weekend, excuse me. I very apologise for that. Just making sure everything in the vocal cord section is working. Mark crosses the line, goes P4 actually, just over 2.5 temps for P4, so actually he's not that bad. He's right, he could be with it. He looks like he's starting to get a bit more of a rhythm there. So third place is Murcielago, the man on pole position. He is behind by roughly 30 points, there or thereabouts. Behind him is Galactic Skull 2 in fourth. He is about 18 points behind Murcielago, and then Beamer Black rounds off your top 5. He's just 1 point behind Galactic Skull 2. So Galactic Skull 2 at the moment all the way down in P10, Beamer Black P6, so that could very much change today if things stay the way they are during the race. So welcome along. Almost at the end of qualifying, just 2 minutes 48 seconds, as I say that, left in the session. Murcielago extends his advantage by another 7,000, something around there, because his advantage is not much, but it has doubled on Ketchy. So Ketchy going to look to put the work in. Kevin Jacobs, though, is coming to the end of his lap, so we'll see what Kevin Jacobs can do into the penultimate corner. Then goes a little bit wide over the curb. Ooh, very, very bumpy. Now on the inside, goes wide again. A very scruffy end to the lap for the American, but up to the line, what will he be able to do? He's 2 temps off the pace. Will he take pole? No, I was waiting for it. Sometimes you get a delay, but no improvement from Kevin Jacobs. Mark, however, though, finds an improvement, takes pole by 2 temps of a second. Good lap by Mark. Ketchy is out on a lap, however, so things could still change in these final 2 minutes. Chazza, actually surprisingly, on the pace for the first time this season, under half a second on the pole time. So grid very nice and even up until about P7, P6 actually, where the guys start going over a second down on the lap times. So JFD yet to set a valid lap as well. He's had a similar story in Le Mans Bugatti. Didn't really set a valid lap time, and when he did, it wasn't really one to write home about. So he'll be looking to get a good lap in. Ketchy should be coming up to the line, however. I'm interested to see where Ketchy goes. And it is pole position for Ketchy by 2 tenths of a second. Ketchy making sure that Mark knows that he's in the way. It looks like Mark's caused some traffic, so he won't be improving this time. Murcielago in the pits. Not sure he's going to be able to get out and make another lap, so Murcielago settling for at least third position. Could go worse, of course. Best scenario is third now for Murcielago. Kevin Jacobs coming up to the line. We have Chazza out on another lap as well. Where's Beamer Black? He's in sector 1. Beamer Black's got it under a second now. The guys go so wide, and that just upsets the car for this bit, and I don't see this being an improvement for Kevin. Very scruffy end to the lap once again. Very easy to do, it looks like. Goes on the grass a little bit for good measure across the line. No improvement. Chazza, P5 is in the middle sector. Beamer in the middle sector. Galactic Skull 2, though, is in the final sector. Is a bit tidier than Kevin Jacobs. P7 currently 2.1 seconds off the pace. Coming up to the line now. What's Galactic Skull going to pull out of the hat? It's going to be a nothing. No improvement for Galactic Skull 2. Still 2.1 seconds away from pole position. Hey Kai, how you doing? Welcome along. Hope you're enjoying your evening. Ketchy's reduced the advantage of... Ketchy managed to reduce the advantage, but could not take pole away from Mark. So Mark fights off one challenger. There's another challenger gone in Murcielago, who's spun. He won't be challenging for pole position. We'll have Kevin Jacobs and Chazza coming up as the next challengers. Can they take pole position away from Mark here today? Chazza crosses the line, does improve to P3, knocks Murcielago down to P4. Kevin Jacobs coming to the end of that lap as well. Beamer Black crosses the line. No improvement for Beamer Black. Kevin Jacobs coming up to the final 2 corners of this Spielberg circuit in the absolute fog. I'm surprised if you see it. He needs to get it a bit cleaner this time. Go a bit slower to the inside apex. Don't go out onto that stuff because it will mess you up for this next corner. Get it nice and slowed down. Don't go out onto that AstroTurf. Looks a little bit cleaner for Kevin Jacobs this time, although still not ideal. Coming up to the line. Kevin Jacobs across the line. He will go no further than P9. It is an improvement. but not just, and only 2 thousandths slower than Murcielago. That's a kick to the gut. Looks like Beamer Black has backed off. VSR Blizzard will be the next man to come up to the line in the Mercedes. Will VSR Blizzard cause an upset here? Will he improve from P7? We'll find out. A little bit of a scruffy end to the lap. Coming up to the line, went a little bit wider than he would have liked. Up to the line, where does Blizzard go? P3. It's a big improvement of about 1.5 seconds for VSR Blizzard. Knocks Chazza down to P4. Good effort by VSR Blizzard. That one came out of nowhere. Nothing in the bag from Galactic Skull 2. JFD up in 9th, actually. Good effort. Sevens is out potentially on a lap. Other than that, it is all done and dusted. And there you go, the session comes to an end, and it is going to be Mark starting on pole position by just over a 10th from Kedshi in P2. VSR Blizzard will line up in P3 ahead of Chazza, P number 4. P5 will see Murcielago, the man who held pole position for the most of the session, till it all went drastically wrong in the end. Kevin Jacobs will line up P6, showing good pace. 7th is Beamer Black. Galactic Skull 2, 8th, quite a low qualifying position for Galactic Skull 2's performance this season. JFD P9, of course, and Altanovic P10, and we had the guys below these who will be Kern Joker and Sevens. It looked like PO11 did disconnect, and it looks like it's going to be bright and sunny for the race. We'll actually be able to see the cars, but how will that affect the grid? So a little bit more consistent racing we're going to see, because these guys obviously will be able to see a lot more, will be able to judge distances a lot easier, and it's just genuinely going to be a better time for these drivers. So they don't have to tiptoe around. But Kedshi and Mark, what a story tale this is. A storyline, that's kind of a hybrid between a fairy tale and a storyline. But it is a storyline to follow, because these two on the front of the grid, Kedshi and Mark, are both equal on 112 points. These two have the exact same points. Whoever has the better race here today will come out with the championship lead. So very good to see this. Mercedes versus Renault. It's going to be a good one, isn't it? And then behind them is VSR Blizzard, and Mercedes versus Renault once again in VSR Blizzard versus Chazza, these two old rivals from last season of NORL F1 2017. By the way, Kai F1, Danny Ibn Lahar, of course. Welcome along, buddy. Hope you're enjoying watching what else goes on in the NORL world outside of Sundays. So, good effort from Chazza and VSR to get up on the second row. Murcielago and, of course, Kevin Jacobs will line up behind them. Bentley versus Honda. Beamer Black and Galactic Skull 2 will make it Bentley versus Lamborghini behind them. But now we get ready to focus on the racing as we get ready for round number 8 of the NORL FIA GT3 series, waiting for the green flag. What a wonderful view this is. We're going to see what happens right about now. And where we go, who's going to get a better run to the line? It looks like the Mercedes has got a little bit more power, despite the Renault getting the better launch. So Kedshi has the inside line, but Mark is able to hold it on the outside. These two got to be so careful, because they're involved in a championship battle now, and it looks like for the first time this season, everyone gets through turn number 1 nice and clean. And VSR Blizzard already on the offensive of Kedshi. Kedshi already on the offensive of Mark. So this is going to get very scruffy going up into turn 2. If these guys can avoid making contact, that's in their best interest. But Kedshi up the inside, Mark goes wide. VSR Blizzard says thank you very much, and is now actually going to go side by side with Kedshi. VSR Blizzard takes a very early lead from third on the grid. Great start by the man in the black and green Mercedes. Kedshi holding it on the outside line though, going to try his best to hold the lead, but it's not going to happen. VSR Blizzard loses the back end and gets tipped over almost. Manages to survive, actually manages to stay quite high up on the grid because he blocked the rest of the track. Mark then takes the lead back. Kevin Jacobs going very deep on the brakes with Murcielago on the grass, gets spun into JFD. JFD collects it not once, not twice, and it's just ping pong. And the sister Bentley just avoids hitting Murcielago as a result. You can see Seven's an early casualty, as is Anel Tanovic on that lap as well. So Mark leads quite comfortably now from VSR Blizzard. Kevin Jacobs on the offensive up into P3. Good start from him, but it's been an absolute nightmare for Kedshi. who has been taken advantage of. And we have a spin. It's Kevin Jacobs has spun into the pit lane. Look at the chaos unfolding in the background. We have Galactic Skull 2 spinning out on the pit entry. And now we have an R8 spinning around the last corner. This isn't G1 Championship, boys. These two do opt not to pit, though, and continue on their way. They'll now battle amongst themselves. A lot of cars in the pits, presumably for damage, including Mark. Did Mark pick up damage? Race leader in the pit lane on lap 1. The Renault RS01 that was leading this race is in the pit lane. Was that from making contact with VSR Blizzard when he spun under braking? I'm not quite sure. Not sure who that invisible pit crew is servicing. Must be the invisible boatmobile. VSR Blizzard then leads from Chaza. As a result of that, Ketchi going side by side with Nemesis Racing. Good comeback from Ketchi. Voids all that chaos, goes down the inside. Is he going to hold it for P3, or is Nemesis going to hold it around the outside? Good move by Nemesis. We have a spin. VSR Blizzard makes the same mistake as he did on the very first lap. And we have multiple cars doing the same thing. JFD and Anil Tanovic now go around, and it's a mobile chicane for Galactic Skull 2. I'm not sure what's going on, but definitely not the best performance of these drivers this season. All making very, very silly mistakes, it has to be said. Chaza now leads the race then, as it switches hands once again. And really, if you can be consistent, you have a good chance, despite not having good pace. Ketchi, super wide, annihilating a braking board. Meanwhile, Anil Tanovic, JFD going side by side. Anil Tanovic completes the move and will take that position away. Murcielago going very slowly though, as Mark finds himself on the back of him. So let's take a look at these gaps. We have Mark versus Murcielago as a very close battle, as well as I think the closest battle is probably, well, it was VSR and Kernjoker, but I think Kernjoker's actually had a spin. Yeah, he's lost the position to Galactic Skull 2 now as well. Anil Tanovic actually had a bit of a spin as well, loses the position to JFD once again. Ooh, what a shot that was. Is Mark going to go down the inside? No, just having a look, making a little bit of a dummy maneuver. He'll now get the run out of that final corner though, and be able to pull right up behind the big old Bentley, go alongside, aiming for the inside apex. And it's going to be tough to complete this move. The Bentley's got the grunt, but he does have the inside line, so if he can just get his nose across and stop Murcielago from turning in, it's going to be quite easy to force him wide, like that. Position 10 for Mark, who pitted on lap 1. For what I can only assume was damage. Meanwhile, Nemesis and Ketchi are going to resume their little feud that we saw just a bit earlier. Standings doesn't change anything, okay. Just playing around while we watch this little battle going up into the final corner. Nemesis going a little bit wide, gets stuck on that AstroTurf. Ketchi does follow him though, so that's going to annihilate any kind of gap that Ketchi was gaining. Up into turn 1, Ketchi will be looking to set up off the first corner to get a much better run, and he has done exactly that. Poor exit for Nemesis. We'll see him under pressure from the blue Mercedes of Ketchi here today. Still yet to pit, of course. His title rival pitted on lap 1, so he can't afford to get held up in too many battles, and he's got to force the issue down the inside of Nemesis Racing. He goes. Nemesis forced out wide, not much he could do, but he attempts to switch back. Will he be able to come back fully on Ketchi though? I don't know. I think he might, and he completes the move, I think, before we even get down to the braking zone. The standard says Ketchi's still ahead, but it's so even, it could be anyone's game. Down the inside, you'd have to favour Nemesis unless Ketchi can get a switchback as well. Nemesis got all kinds of ugly up on that curb, so that will affect his exit, but looks like Ketchi had nowhere to go and was forced to just let off the throttle as a result, and allow Nemesis to keep the position for now. But Ketchi will do his best to hassle Nemesis in the very NORL looking colours of the Renault. Great effort to find a livery so similar to what he was looking for. Ketchi looking to the inside, nothing doing on this occasion. That's got 2 up to 4th. We can now see Kernjoker and VSR Blizzard. Kernjoker pulls to the inside. Will he make the move? He's going to try it. Nothing doing. VSR scares himself off the road. Surrenders the position to the other Mercedes. And meanwhile, we have the same spin we've seen about 7 times already. Sevens goes around in such that, oh, that infamous corner. Someone annihilated one of the cones coming into pit lane there, didn't they? Meanwhile, look how far Cone Joker's off the road in his battle to hold up VSR Blizzard. Those Mercedes sound wonderful, don't they? Absolutely beautiful machines. Looks like the Renaults and the Mercedes are the favourites of this series. Coming down into turn 3, Ketchy all up behind him. Looking to the outside, nothing doing. Tries to get the tighter line. That looks like it's favoured him. It looks like a mistake from Nemesis is going to compound the issue here and allow Ketchy to mount an attack around the outside. It's going to be tough to hold it around that corner on the outside, so he doesn't. Backs out of it. Can get the better run, as he has. Maybe pop it down the inside. No, because Nemesis blocks it. So he can try do the same and try get a move done into the penultimate corner of this track. 22 minutes remain. Where is Mark? Mark has made it up into P7 since we last saw him. So steady progress from Mark, bringing him into the battle for the lead. Chaz is out in clean air though, so if anyone's got the opportunity to snatch the lead, it is Chazza. Just got to be consistent at this point, Chazza. Looking for his first win in the NORL Project Cars series. Taken many in F1, of course, but has never taken one in Project Cars. Look at this battle between Ketchy and Nemesis Racing. Nemesis really showing everybody what he's got. Of course, both of these guys have won a race this season. Both race winners battling for second place at the moment. Ketchy looking to the inside. Will he make the move? He will attempt to make it. Will it stick for him? Nemesis on the outside. Does get shoved out this time. No chance of an undercut for Nemesis. So Ketchy up into P2. Cone Joker, however, has passed VSR Blizzard. That's because VSR Blizzard has come into the pit lane. Kevin Jacobs has spun all the way down to 9th place in this race. Really been a downward spiral for him. Chazzo leads quite comfortably. Nemesis makes that mistake he's made quite a few times now. He's making the same mistake everybody else is, but he's not spinning out. He's saving the spin, so good effort by Nemesis, because a lot of people have lost it, but he is still making a mistake that's costing him a lot of time. Look at this little train forming behind Murcielago. It's the Murcielago monorail. Sabima Black in the Lamborghini. Oh, Murcielago goes around, and something we've seen so often. I think Kevin Jacobs did hit him there. I hope for Kevin's sake that he didn't pick up damage as a result of that. But Kevin trying to mount an attack on Beamer Black. Look how close he is. Was contact there between Beamer Black and Kevin Jacobs. A little bit push and shove, NASCAR style move there from Kevin, and I'm sure that will be a raging bull of a Lamborghini behind him now, and we'll want to get him back for that one. So, oh, Aneltanovic almost went. Sevens has actually been lapped by everyone, I think, at this point. Murcielago. Go cockpit, that'll work. Going up to turn 1. Just wants to set it up to get a better exit than Kevin, but they're both going to mess it up. And it looks like Kevin will live to see another day. So what other backs do we have on travel? We have Cone Joker chasing down Galactic Skull 2. This could be one to watch. Getting nice and close. What we like to see. The battle for 4th is on. Cone Joker looks like he's got some pretty decent pace. Caught past VSR Blizzard and has now caught Galactic Skull 2. So we'll see what Cone Joker can do as he drifts through. Is that Nemesis up ahead as well? Yeah, so Nemesis significantly dropped off Ketchy, so I wonder if there's been a spin there for Nemesis, or he just didn't have the pace once Ketchy passed him. Regardless, Nemesis has got to get a move on because these guys are closing in on him fast, and they're both such meaty, muscly engines as Cone Joker drifting through the penultimate corner. Once again, there's Ketchy. You can see there's Nemesis. and then listen to these muscle engines. Don't they sound wonderful? Alright, so turn 1, we'll see who's the big winner. Gunjoker goes so wide, and I don't know if that's hurting or hindering him at this point. Because it looks like he could be gaining an advantage doing it, but that's only if there's grip out there. If there's no grip out there, then he's only hurting himself. Out of turn 2, begins the run into 3. Galactic Skull 2 looks like he's safe for now. Gunjoker is closing the gap around 7/10 of a second. It is closing all the time. Ooh, won't be if you do that. Get out of jail free card used there. Now this is a battle. Anel Tanovic and JFD have been trading positions for a few laps now in the SLS. Actually, not the AMG, so very bizarre to see the SLS. JFD makes a mistake, and that's going to allow Anel Tanovic to pull alongside and just pass him easy peasy, lemon squeezy in the battle for the final point offered here today, 10th place. That single solitary point. Anel Tanovic goes wide, just can't seem to control that Mercedes. Looked very, but does actually survive for another day. Meanwhile, Boomer Black catching up to Kevin Jacobs to get involved. Kevin Jacobs going off the track there, actually going to do the same. A mistake he made all through qualifying. That's going to actually give Beamer Black a little bit of a run going into turn 1. So we'll have to see what the Lamborghini is capable of doing under braking. Is he going to send it? No, just going to wait. He's going to try to scare Kevin into a mistake. Kevin does go wide. You've got a better run though. Did Kevin get away with going wide? I think Kevin's fine for now. Unless Beamer Black has anything to offer into turn 3, but it doesn't look like it, does it? Ooh, a lock up for Kevin Jacobs might help though. So, Mark is up into P6. I'm assuming these times are all relative to the leader. So Mark is only 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Oh, Kevin makes a mistake. That's going to allow Beamer Black to close in pretty well. Beamer Black's actually got the inside line now. If he's brave enough on the brakes, this is his best opportunity. Kevin is ahead when push comes to shove, and that's going to prevent Beamer Black from being able to make a clean move. So no moves so far through the next section of the slow S-bend. Feels forever before you can get on the throttle. Chazza pits, by the way. Race leader pits. So we'll be able to see if Mark will pass him. These two smite. So where's Mark? Oh my goodness gracious me. Great balls of fire. Galactic Skull 2, Nemesis Racing and Cone Joker, and now Mark. All involved in a massive four-way battle. How did this happen? Going up to turn 2, look at this, Nemesis Racing on the inside, nowhere to go with it. Mark might get a little bit interested as well. Mark's got to be careful because he has taken the net race lead at this point. After all these guys, he's already made his stop, so he can't afford to get tangled up with an accident here. He's got to be so careful. And of course, he can't lose time to Kechi as well, because Kechi still in the frame. Nemesis Racing could arguably be in the frame a little bit later on, but Kechi's the one leading these guys at the moment. Look at this trim. Where did this come from? How did Galactic Skull 2's gone? Will eliminate himself from that trim. Will actually rejoin the back of it, so not so bad. Could be worse. Mark around the outside, the two Renaults side by side. Mark's got to get this done to avoid losing time. He can't take himself out, but Nemesis Racing gets taken out. Mark survives. Nemesis Racing gets sent to the back of the queue. Cone Joker gets past Galactic Skull 2. Due to all of that chaos, Galactic Skull 2 will have to try work to get that back. But Mark gets through clean and clear. Galactic Skull 2 on the inside, but too far back to think of a move. Does he scare Cone Joker? He does! Cone Joker almost spun into the side. Nemesis thought about pitting there, saw a Mercedes covering off and decided to stay out for another lap. So Nemesis, I think, forced to stay out for another lap because there was a Mercedes blocking the path. Where is Chazza in relation to this. So you can see Chaz is just at the end of Sector 2. These guys are coming into the pits now. Don't really have to worry about them for the time being, because, by the way, Beamer Black did manage to get past Kevin Jacobs in the end, didn't he? Beamer Black holding on for dear life, because Kevin Jacobs has now got the opportunity to come back and pass the Lamborghini. If he can do it, there's another story, however. A lot of steering movement going on. The NSX, wow! The Lamborghini leaves half a door. Kevin goes for it, goes for the switchback. Good move if he can pull it off. Is the Lamborghini still there? Yes, he is. So good switchback attempt from the NSX. The NSX should get the better run from this and should pass Beamer Black going into the next braking zone. Beamer Black will be able to be a little bit ahead. Kevin Jacobs much later on the brakes. That should allow Beamer Black to just switch back, go for the tagger line, get the better run. Exactly what Kevin did to him on the corner before. But now Beamer Black's on the outside line. He's got to do all the hard work to try hold this around the outside. He's tried it once today. It didn't pay off. A little bit of a tap between the two, gets them both away, and another switchback attempt comes from Beamer Black. Kevin Jacobs is quick to react and close that door off, but in doing that, sacrifices the better race line, which should give Beamer Black a better run coming into the penultimate corner. It does look like Beamer Black's gaining, pulls to the inside line, should be able to send it down the inside of Kevin Jacobs. Contact, big contact. I saw an accident very similar to that in the ISRA IC a few seasons ago that ended so much worse. So Kevin's got away with that so well, and Beamer Black actually gives him the position back in a gesture of good faith. So good effort. Kedshi still yet to... Is Kedshi pitted, or is Kedshi yet to pit? Kedshi might have snuck in a pit stop during there. If he did, he's now got the net race lead. If he hasn't, Mark has got some incredible pace. We'll see how it plays out. I'm going to assume that Kedshi snuck a pit stop in during all that chaos. It would have been very smart if he did. Meanwhile, Chazza, since pitting, has not really made an impression. So it's all a case of if this man has already pitted. If he has, brill. If he hasn't, he's probably looking at a top 5 today, not a race win, because Mark's closing in on him. So even if he has pitted, he's got to deal with this man coming in quick and fast anyway at some point. Kevin Jacobs closing in on Nemesis now. Beamer Black just behind, so this will be an interesting battle, I'm sure. Nemesis Racing hasn't pitted, I don't think. Kevin Jacobs on the outside though. Nemesis Racing on the inside, side by side, coming into the penultimate corner. Kevin gets the move done before we even need to think about braking and turning. Good effort. Got a much better run, didn't he? Beamer Black might try send it down the last corner. Great opportunistic stuff from the Lamborghini. Nemesis tried to cut across the apex to get a switchback there and actually messed himself up in all kinds of ways, so loses out due to that. Mark, by the way, has closed in so much on Kedshi. The gap's under a second. If Kedshi hasn't pitted, it's game over, I think. If he has, we got a race on our hands. But Mark looks like the winner here today, doesn't he? Closed in 3 seconds in a lap. Great effort by Mark. And now gets a run on the Mercedes. Will probably be smart about it. Laid on the brakes. Goes wide. Aids for the inside. Then gets on the throttle. Opens it up to go down into turn 3 and turn 4. Good effort by these guys. Very close, very careful. There's not just a race win at stake here today, there's a huge turning point in the championship. Great run from Mark. He's now going to be able to look down the inside for the penultimate corner. Is he going to be able to outbrake Kedshi though? Doesn't look like it. Kedshi keeping his nose in. Good defense from Kedshi, but it looks like it could be game over here. Still fighting the good fight. Good effort by the Mercedes, but now Mark will be able to open it up because he just have more room on the circuit, and we'll be able to see a visual comparison of the exits here, because there you can see Kedshi just loses out to Mark as a result. But Mark brakes very late, goes wide. Kedshi goes, oh well, okay, if you're going wide, I'll come with you, and then goes even wider himself, which is going to actually give him the run. So that's a little bit cheeky to get the run by doing that, and he might have an opportunity to lunge it up into turn 2. Is he going to do it, or is he going to stay behind? He's going to stay behind. Interesting. Mark leads then. no matter what happens, Mark's in the lead. That's a very wide line for Kechi. Eight and a half minutes remain in this motor race. Beamer Black and Kevin Jacobs are going at it for the final podium position. Chazza had a terrible second half to this race. Went from leading to being nowhere, really. Not even a talking point at the moment. It's a very bad transitional phase for Chazza. So, where are we? Coming into the 7-minute mark in about a minute. We have Mark leading pretty much no matter what happens. Mark has the lead now. Kechi in second. We're still not sure if he snuck a pit stop in or not. If he has, we missed it. But I think at this point he must have. And he almost, it did work for him. Not sure where you're going, Kevin. That was extremely wide. Just wanted to go say hi to the fans on the grandstand out there. But yeah, Mark leads pretty well. Kechi's strategy was better though, wasn't it? Kechi came out ahead. That's a terrible exit for Kevin, by the way. That should allow Beamer Black to get a pretty good run and give him an opportunity for turn 2. Kevin covers the inside. Beamer Black to the outside, side by side. And it's going to be Beamer Black coming across, actually, the nose of Kevin to defend the inside line there. So made the move on the outside, then came across to cover the inside. Actually manages to hold off the switchback, I think, from Kevin. I might be wrong. No, he definitely held it off. But Kevin still with an opportunity to send it. It depends how careful Kevin's going to be, or if he's just going to go for it. Looked like he was almost going to go for it. Very close as you dare. Tries to go for a switchback. No real opportunity to switch back there. Has to hold on, and will now have to go through the pain of following another car through this slow section. It's so slow, and it's so frustrating because you just want to get on the throttle, and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting until now. Now you can put the throttle down 100% and go after him. And he's actually really close, so he's done well to hold on to the back of him there. Not enough to set him up for the penultimate corner, admittedly, but he's still within a chance. If Beamer Black messes up the final section, or if you just track extend, you're going to be in with a shout for turn 1. We have a car in the pits. It's Kechi, so Kechi didn't pit. So Kechi left it late to pit. He's not even going to be in for second. That's huge for the championship as it stands. Nemesis Racing is going to come and take P5 away from him. That's Anil behind Nemesis, so he's not going to worry about that. And then that's JFD. He doesn't have to worry about a JFD. No worries on that one. Murcielago's coming around the final corner, so he should come out in 5th. Like I predicted. Oh, I just heard a spin. Who was it? It looks like it was JFD. Gets underway though. So, Kechi only 5th. This race is going to lose 10 points to Mark. Lose the lead of the championship by 10 points. And we're so close to the end of the season now. Everything is crucial. Kechi this could have big implications on the championship. Giving Mark a 10-point buffer, because Mark will take it and run, you know. Mark is wise enough to take that championship and run away if you give him the opportunity. So it wouldn't have been so bad if it was second, I think, for Kechi, but he didn't pit, and I'm surprised he didn't. If he didn't pit when that 4-car battle was happening, that would have been the prime time, and he wouldn't have been able to come out ahead. By the way, Kevin Jacobs is really hassling the back of Beamer Black through that final sector. That was such a good run, but he had nowhere to go with it with Beamer Black. Coming up into turn 1, Kevin Jacobs late on the brakes. Too late on the brakes, completely. Just turn 1 isn't even there, and I'm wondering if penalties are on, or if penalties are counting towards these track extensions, because I've seen it so much, and they're still doing it, and I haven't seen any penalties for it. And it's definitely gaming in time, but doesn't seem to be getting enforced all that much. Just curious to see how VSR Blizzard is 49 seconds. VSR Blizzard is 49 seconds away from Mark, but Galactic Skull 2 was only 48. Oh, speaking of Galactic Skull 2, what the hell just happened there? That might just be the weirdest spin I've ever seen. He got a tank slapper, but... Oh, speaking of tank slapper, Kevin goes big crash into the wall. That was real life. You could say goodnight to that Acura, and I think you can pretty much say goodnight to Kevin's race, because he's struggling to even get it back on the circuit. I can only imagine the damage. Surely that's suspension damage, possible steering rack damage. Let's have a look then. Can we see him having to drive? Yeah, you can see massive pulling to the left. It's dancing, it's dancing. Is Kevin going to pit, or is he just going to try survive 2.5 minutes with a destroyed car? This is perfect opportunity for Nemesis to get a podium. Yeah, Kevin's car is absolutely ruined. Without swearing, there's not many better ways to describe that Acura, and he's got to hold off a very hungry Nemesis Racing. What the? I don't even know. If you're making an NORL highlights reel for this season, then there you go. Oh, that has broken me. What was that? Welcome to physics in Austria. Mark leads then. Beamer Black in a very good P2 after Kevin defeats himself, pretty much. Nemesis Racing will try close in for that third place. If Kevin can hold on to this podium, be very good. Kedge is going to try close in on the both of them. Doesn't look like that's ever going to happen there. Murcielago's making his way through the field, lapping people. That's actually Chazza behind Murcielago. So Chazza hassling for P6 as they make their way through the traffic. Luckily, no one spins out this time. We've seen a lot of guys lose it in that corner. VSR Blizzard is just behind this train as well. So if anything is to go wrong, he's going to have a front row seat. Now, are we going to be on our final lap? Where is Mark? We might be. This could be our final lap. It'll be tight, but these guys could just have one more lap to settle this debate. Oh, Nemesis Racing pits. Is this Nemesis's first stop? Oh my god, I know he pulled this off in Bathurst somehow, but wow. I thought Kedge's pit stop was late. Nemesis pits on them on what looks like it'll be the final race. Murcielago and Chazza will pass him and VSR Blizzard down to P8. Where's Kern Joker? Kern Joker is actually close. There's Kern Joker now. Where's he going to come out in comparison to Nemesis Racing? I think Nemesis might just come out in front, but he's got a much tighter turn one. No, I think Kern Joker's got him. I think Kern Joker's going to pass him. Galactic Skull 2 won't, but Kern Joker should. There goes the Mercedes. No, Nemesis just gets him. These guys are going to battle super hard, but I want to see where Mark is, because Mark comes to the line, and it will be the final lap. Great effort from Mark. A victory here from pitting on lap 1. Dominant performance here today. Nobody could match Mark. Great effort. Takes the championship lead as it gets to the business hour of the season. Congratulations, Mark, for that. Congratulations to Beamer for his second place. Great drive from Beamer here today. Did Kevin hold on to that podium? Yes, he did, because Nemesis pitted in the end, and a very damaged Acura could have had second today, but I'm sure he will not complain about a podium, especially with a car that looks like it's in a fit state to spend the night in a garage, not a racetrack. That car is all but destroyed, but he's got a podium anyway. Good recovery from Kevin to hold on to that podium. Kedge, though, salvages P4, will only lose the championship lead by 8 points. Sorry, no, not by 8 points. It would have been by 15 points. Only loses the championship lead by 13 points. A good effort. VSR Blizzard and Chazza was actually extremely close over the line. VSR Blizzard pips Chazza for the 5th place. Murcielago P7. Kern Joker P8. Galactic score 2, P9. Nemesis Racing will pick up the final point in F7, Zanel and JFD, the back markers at the back. But what a drive by Mark once again. And he's getting very exciting. I think either one of the top two, Mark or Kedshi, both thoroughly deserve this championship. So I'm super excited to see who wins it in the end. Kedshi actually didn't have the pace at all today. His fastest lap shows that. He was over, 3.5 seconds a lap slower than Mark, but had the consistency to stay up there. So good effort by Kedshi. The consistency when he didn't have the pace was good. Who was the fastest man today? Who got the fastest lap? I think it might have been Kevin Jacobs, you know. Yeah, Kevin Jacobs gets the fastest lap of the day. Congratulations, Kevin. You were the fastest man on the circuit today. It's a shame of how things went. Great driving today from these guys. Kedshi and Mark go head-to-head once again next week, but Kedshi's got to pull something special out of the bag now as Mark pulls out an early 13-point lead as we go into the final rounds of the season. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, which will be round number 9 of the NORL FIA GT3 series, and potentially the last Project Cars 2 NORL series broadcasted by Gaming Now. You don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching, and until round 9, we'll see you then. Goodbye.